So good. And depending upon where you are around the world, I am Marcus Holmes, HR Passion Guy. And as you can see, I have a guest here, and I'm going to introduce her in 1 second. But wherever you are around the world, we are emanating from the LinkedIn platform. But we're live via Restream on Facebook Live, on the Marcus R. Holmes page, on Twitch TV, on the Love and Stuff community page, and on YouTube events. And I'm excited to be here. So many great things are happening in and around the Garden of Passion, I will call it. And one of those great things is one of our Love and Stuff community members, and you will also know her from LinkedIn. She is doing some great things, and we'll get a chance to talk to her about some of the great things that she's doing. So click share, tag 5 of your closest connections, or 5 of your closest Facebook friends or followers, or YouTube event connections, or Twitch TV followers, and invite them to join in on this discussion on Passion Fridays, where we talk about topics that bring us passion, where people and their purpose intersect in passion, and where we find many passionate things to do. So speaking of things to do, I snagged this great guest in the moment's notice, and she was more than willing to come and join us. So Andrea Williams, thank you so much for joining us and being with us here today. I'm excited to have you, and tell our viewers and listeners as they're coming in, where are you from? I know you're from the D, but where are you now? Where do you live now?
So I am bringing you greetings from Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. The Queen is in the Queen City.
Got it. The Queen is in the Queen City. And tell us, what is the weather like there in Charlotte today? In Detroit, it's 90. It's hot.
It's 94, but it feels like 104. So yeah, going outside is challenging.
So I will not complain anymore. I was complaining earlier about the heat.
It's a whole different heat down here.
I'm just going to keep my mouth closed about the heat then, because I awakened this morning. I went outside. I said, it can't already be 80 something degrees. It just can't be happening. And as you may remember, for some summers past, we had, I think it was 51 consecutive days that were over 90. And so I'd rather have hot than cold, but not that hot. But I can't complain if you have 94 degrees. So
78 degrees is my sweet spot.
98 degrees is your sweet spot?
78.
Oh, yeah. You're really a Detroit person.
I'm a Detroit.
I'm a 70s weather. I like to awaken with a 68 to 70 and then keep it around 75. If I could have that. But of course, I need the change of season, so I can't have snow with that temperature. But I could have some autumn leaves maybe. But yeah, I don't need the 90s. I don't think they're for me. But so I'm excited, and thank those of you that are joining. A couple of folks are with us on LinkedIn, and a couple of folks on Facebook. So click share. This is Andrea Williams, and we're going to be talking to her about some of the queenly things that she's doing. So let me first ask you this. I know that you have for many years worked in accounting and finance area, and that journey has taken you different places. What is your passion? When someone says, Andrea, what is your passion? What's your response to that? What is your passion?
Seeing a project to completion, which is that analytical brain, but actually being a part of the journey of seeing people transform lives. Even if that's at work, I find that everything that I'm attracted to is about transformation.
Wow, that's awesome. And I think that's led you through some interesting different areas of journey, because I know that you have also done pageantry. So tell us a little bit about your passion around pageantry, and maybe that'll be a good foray into some of the speaking that you're doing this week and weekend, and an event that's coming up. So tell us about, your beautiful African-American woman. Every woman from Detroit is, no shade to any other place, but every woman is, every person has beauty in them, right? But your beautiful African-American woman, what led you down this path to pageantry?
Pageantry started at age 12 with Miss Full and Fabulous with Miss Sharon Dumas. And I was literally, my mindset was literally changed. That was at 13. I grew up as everybody else seeing Miss America and Miss USA, never believing that my chocolate brown full figure self would be up there. And then it came Miss Full and Fabulous, and she was like, I said, well, I'm not a beauty queen. And she said, but it's made for people just like you. So what that taught me was there's a place for everybody, and everybody's beauty can be celebrated. So that's what I love about pageantry. You can find your, what, you know, in corporate, they say your niche. And you can find where you identify, but you can also break barriers, break boxes, and come out the box and actually, like I am now, Miss American Ambassador, which is a plethora of women power that have different sizes, different colors, different cultures, different, you know, different um, sexualities, all different types of people that are celebrating who they are. And last year I was crowned Miss American Ambassador 2021, and my reign ends in October. But I've been loving just spreading the BU Butterfly message through that, because that's my platform, BU Butterfly. And BU Butterfly has now spurred into BU Butterfly planning, life coaching, and taking that one step further.
Yes, and we got to dissect some of that. You moved through that quickly, but I love it. And so I love something that you said earlier that really resonates me, especially from a human resources standpoint, where there's so much in the world, Andrea, talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. I say access and belonging, a place where there's a place for everybody. I love that. A place for all people from all walks of life. I love that. And I love that you've become this ambassador of the organization. So tell us a little bit about the competition that you won. What did that entail?
So it was online. It was virtual. It'll be virtual this year as well. And I did a lot. Virtual pageants are like, they're nightmares almost, because they're a lot. So just imagine, you know, a lot of us are running our business or work like I am now, working from home. So I did everything from home. I had to choose the backgrounds, the destinations, the lighting. I had to get everything right. So I did talent, I did interview, I did humanitarian, multicultural. I did a lot of things. So in that, I won 7 crowns. And I won those 7 crowns not because they were given to me. Trust me, I earned every one of them. And the one that I love the most is the humanitarian, Miss Humanitarian 2021, because that was me serving the community. So I have 2 pet projects with that. Of course, it's BU Butterfly, and just putting that out there. So I do the Cultural Center. I still support them in Albany, New York, where I was living at the time. And I also, wherever I am, I make sure that I'm present and available to who needs me.
I think that is awesome. I'm looking at a comment from Facebook. Dr. Burns says access and belonging, got to add those to the phrase. Yes, belonging is a part of the phrase. It's the nomenclature. I add access. I'm going to say Wendy, even though I know it's Dr. W. Burns. I understand, doctor, because I look at it this way. People say equity is a seat at the table. Including is having a voice at the table. I have had the privilege to have a voice at a table, and your voice isn't always heard, even though you're talking. And you need to have access to the people who sit at the heads of those tables. And I've been in spaces where different people were invited out for drinks. Different people were given tickets to the game, to the golf outing. I wasn't. There was a separate access that people could bring their budget concerns to that leader and get those things approved. That's access. I'm at the table and you're hearing the voice, but it's like the white noise, because they're really not ingesting what you're saying. They need your body at the table. They don't really want your voice. And so while it's inclusive, because you're at the table, your body is there and your voice becomes white noise. Once you have access, then you can make meaningful impact. Once you can access that leader and say, hey, I need to call you after hours and I need to share this with you, and it results in some action or outcome, then you have access. And that's what we should be seeking to have. It's not just more representation at a table where our voices are regarded as white noise, where we have access to the people that can make business decisions, and even more, where leaders are becoming more vulnerable to democratize the power so that people at the table get actual power and not just a voice. So that's why I had access to that conversation, because I think it's important. Thank you, Wendy, for that comment, because it gave me a chance to say that. Okay.
Can I say something on that, Marcus?
Sure.
Someone asked me a question. I was in Clubhouse and someone asked that question, what is true diversity? And I explained to them true diversity to what they proposed as diversity. Like you said, you're at the table. So you have a white marble, a black marble, a green marble, a red marble, and an orange marble. That's diversity. But if only and then you have 4 other white marbles, right? So those 5 people have the majority of the time and the voice and the access. So they're the ones who are the power movers. So even though you have the diversity at the table, if not all those people have equal opportunity to speak and to influence, then the access is not there and diversity really didn't happen. So I love that you had that conversation. Thank you, Dr. W. Burns, for bringing that out, because a lot of people, that's what I talk about. BU Butterfly is about everybody having that access and how to show up authentically as yourself to gain it, because what we do sometimes is we try to assimilate and then we don't speak up. So even though some people are there and they look like they're there, they're really not there for you.
Yeah. And so many organizations, just to piggyback on that, say bring your authentic self, but they're not really prepared for who your authentic self is. And really the work is not you bringing your authentic self. The work is creating the space that is emotionally and psychologically safe, so that you can understand, when I bring myself, this is authentically who I am. And not everybody's ready for an authentic Marcus Holmes. And so when people say that, I say, are you sure?
Right.
Because there's some work that you have to do to accept my authenticity. So love it, love it, love it. And I'm glad that you're the ambassador. What do you say, or what do you think that says to other young Black women, young LGBTQIA plus women, Latinx women, when they see a full-figured woman? What would you want to encourage them to understand if they are full-figured watching you? What is the message you want them to know?
That I'm going to show up and represent well. So, for instance, Marcus pinged me and asked me to join him today. So I said, are we on camera? Because there's a different seat. If I'm on Clubhouse, nobody sees me. I could, literally not do anything. Right. But if I'm on camera, I want to make sure that I represent full-figured women, Black women, Christian women, even my daughter who's LGBTQ. I want to represent everybody that I belong to and well. And that's where we mess up. We want people to accept us, but we don't want to come out on top of our game. We want to, so we have to remember that. So you have to know that if Andrea is there, Andrea is going to speak like Andrea has good sense, but Andrea is going to come from a place of sincerity, Christianity, and love.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And so now you are in the middle of a keynote speaking engagement for Success Fest. Tell us about Success Fest.
So Success Fest is held by the Multicultural Speakers Convention, which is, organization, which is head by Trevor Otts, OTTS. And I've been a part of them since February, one of them. And so I am a member of that group. And because I'm a member of that group, I've been given the opportunity to do a keynote, which ran on Wednesday and will be rerunning on my Facebook Live. So you can go to the Chocolate Butterfly and see that. And also right now, while we're talking, and it might have just ended, on Success Fest 21, I just finished a keynote, and it is called Your Positive Success is in Your DNA. So sometimes we are given opportunities, and you have to be ready to speak up and speak out. And so what I speak out on is, you can do business, but you can still do business as a Christian, and you can do business as your authentic self. So, and you can do that successfully. So download number 1, successfully.
Wonderful, wonderful. And where can they go to access this? Because it sounds like there's maybe some recorded content now that they can watch over again.
Right. I'm gonna restream it on my Facebook page again. That's the Chocolate Butterfly, Andrea the Chocolate Butterfly Williams. So you can go there. I'm gonna put it in the BU Butterfly Effect Facebook group. So you can go there, join our group, and we have fun there. So you can go there, and you can also go to Success Fest 21 Live, live.com, and you can see all the other wonderful keynotes and workshops and panelists that are going to be displayed. The conference goes through Tuesday, so you have some more time. Dr. Kimbrough is on there every morning, giving a good word for you to push yourself forward and to, just give you that extra knowledge and that extra encouragement to do what you dreamed of doing. And so, he's a powerful, powerful, powerful man. So I'm on the stage with some very powerful people, and there's some great, great, great people that are a part of Success Fest.
Wonderful. And tell us again on Facebook where they can go to it. Tell us the name of your page again so that they'll hear that.
BU Butterfly Effect, AFFECT, BEU Butterfly Effect.
Okay. And you also mentioned your Facebook page too. So
Andrea the Chocolate Butterfly Williams. So I'm the Chocolate Butterfly. If you want to follow me, I'm the Chocolate Butterfly, even here on LinkedIn. I am the Chocolate Butterfly.
Wonderful. And before you tell me how you came up with the Chocolate Butterfly, or tell the audience, I think I know, but tell the audience how you came up with the Chocolate Butterfly. You also have another event, your own event that's coming up. So tell us about the Chocolate Butterfly, and then tell us about this event that's coming up.
Sure, no problem. So the Chocolate Butterfly is interesting. So I have been saying BU Butterfly for a few years now, and a young lady at church started calling me the Chocolate Butterfly. Now, anybody that is a chocolate brown person, not even a woman, sometimes we have issues with people calling us dark skin. And so when she first said it, I was like, I'll be the butterfly, but I don't know about the chocolate butterfly. And God had to correct me. He said, I am that I am, and you are who you are. And he said, remember, your favorite color is brown. Now, my favorite color is brown because I had a godmother who literally came in my life at 12. She married my godfather, and she was a chocolate brown beauty. Okay. And she had a chocolate brown suit on. Now, I was just, I don't know, it just mesmerized me. I was like, wait a minute. And at that moment, I looked at myself in the mirror and said, you are beautiful. That's why Chocolate Butterfly resonates with me so well. And the butterfly is that part of BU. It covers everybody. Every time you see a butterfly, no matter what size, what color, where they came from, because some butterflies come from Japan and they have all different kinds. We accept them because they're beautiful. Why can't we accept people the same way? So that's where the Chocolate Butterfly comes.
Beautiful story and beautiful godmother. Tell us before you go about your Queen event. Tell us a little bit about that beautiful godmother person. Tell us about her.
So Marcus knows her very well. We lost her last year. Her name was Paulette Gardner. She was a hairstylist and a business owner, and a dynamic person in general. She had the heart of gold, and from the moment she walked into my life, literally, I'm trying not to cry because we were very close. But from the moment she came in my life, she spoke life into me. She literally came in my life around, I want to say around Easter, they got married. And my birthday was in that next September. That first birthday, she bought me this bracelet. I just remember everything. When you lose somebody, you start remembering everything. So the butterfly is very, very, very significant with her because that's what we did. Everywhere I went, I brought her back a butterfly. So when I went to law school, I brought her everywhere I went, wherever I went, and I would see a butterfly. I'll be at the Goodwill, wherever. It didn't matter. I would bring it back to her. So my uncle has a whole bunch of butterflies at his house right now because that's how I showed my love. So no matter where she went, I was with her. So, and she called me her little butterfly, and I loved it. So, being called the chocolate, but it was like when someone said that to me, it was like, you're speaking my aunt is speaking through you. And she was just that person, and everybody loved her, and we will always treasure everything that she left. And she had the most beautiful, like raspy, beautiful singing voice. And
Yeah.
so again, I'm an alto, so her singing alto so dynamically, once again, I was like, wow. So this woman really had a very positive impact in not just my life, but many lives. And I
Mhm.
hope to live up to her standards.
Yeah, I think she would be very, very proud of you. And so I wanted to, when you mentioned her, I wanted to bring that in because it's important that we often can't be what we don't see, right? And so you saw in her something, like you said, you were mesmerized by the chocolate brown suit, and she instilled in you and awakened you to your own self beauty, and how important that is for a young woman. And in this day and time, you're right. People I'll call it, they mischaracterize chocolate and dark brown and hues of brown as being something negative or less than. So how important it is to have that butterfly spread her wings and cover you with love, as it were, to show you that it's good to be brown skin. It's good to be chocolate brown. It's good to be a butterfly, a chocolate brown butterfly. So I wanted to just kind of draw that out. I know it's sensitive to your heart, but I think it's
It's
important.
fine. I needed to say it because it leads us into the next conversation, right? I just finished a book, and it's dedicated to her, and it's called Be You Butterfly, Little Caterpillar.
Mhm.
And so it's going to be kind of the story of her and I, where I saw somebody that looked like me that was flying and realized that I could fly too. So I'm so proud of that, because I was like in a low spot when that book came out of me. It just I literally, it's hot off the presses in my head. I just let it just put it together, and it literally is the little caterpillar saying, man, I guess because I was told I couldn't fly, and they say caterpillars can't fly, but I see somebody that looks like me. She looks like she looks like me, a caterpillar, and she has wings and she's flying. So that was my aunt. So I just it's just everything you do. It's about people in your circle who have uplifted you, and we all need that wind beneath our wings to keep us flying.
Yeah. And psychosocially, we become what others' impressions of us tell us that we can become.
Mm-hmm.
And what great work, important work that is, especially for little boys and girls, because they're being socialized by what they see in media and music and school, what they hear teachers and parents and other adults say. They begin to ingest that as this is who I am. They begin to relate to themselves based on what they see outside, right? And
Right.
so the more that we can show them what they can be and that what they are is something good that somebody else is, the more that we can build their self-confidence and build healthy citizens of our world. So I love that work, and I can't wait to read it and share it with all of our viewers as well. So please keep us posted on that. Okay, so you're this chocolate, beautiful butterfly, and now you have a platform or an event coming up, Queen Ask, ASK. Tell us about it.
Queen's Ask is like download fantastic. So it's authentically speaking knowledge. So that's what the acronym means. And it means that you need to speak what you want people to receive, but you have knowledge that they need. So just like we were talking about earlier, that people allow you at the table, they let you at the table because you're qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that. So when you come to the table, you need to know that you speaking is valued. And it's something that, again, talking in a clubhouse room, somebody said, oh, well, I still don't believe that I'm going to vote because I don't believe my vote counts. And I said to them, if your vote doesn't count, then why are they working so hard to keep you from doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm sorry, but if it was something that nobody needed or wanted or valued, then nobody would be trying to keep you from getting it. It's just what it is. So that gatekeeper wants to keep us out of that gate. They want to keep that access away from us. And as long as we buy into it, they win. But if we want to break out of that box, then we need to step up and then start speaking and learning. So before you say you're going to speak knowledge, you got to learn knowledge. So, so that's what the BU Butterfly planning is all about, is getting that groundwork done, that development stage where you learn the knowledge, so you know the words to speak, you know the language to speak, and you know how to get your message. Like Marcus was saying, sometimes you're at the table and they don't understand, or they weren't ready. But you have to be able to speak their language. I also say Black people are very multilingual, even if they don't know an official second language. Second language. You know how to speak the King speak, and then you know how to talk where Black people understand. So I had to go where Black people understand to get this young man to change his mindset. But sometimes we don't show up authentically, right? We try to assimilate, because we think if we assimilate, because now I said speak properly. I didn't say assimilate, but you can speak properly. Because I used to hate looking at the news as a kid, where they would put somebody on there on the news, and they were like, what happened? And they go to speak, and you're like, oh Lord, I don't know what they're gonna say. So we have to be careful of how we're presenting ourselves. And so that's where that comes from. And so it'll be a 2-day event. The first day will be about healing the wounds of abuse, healing the wounds of not being seen, not being heard, and not being understood. So we're going to heal first on the first day. And then the second day, we're going to celebrate our misses and make them our message. And our misses are missteps, mistakes, misplacements, and misunderstandings. And though that came from my cousin, Tracy Lee, that is not mine. I'm not going to try to take it, because she says it all the time. So anybody in our circle who knows her knows she says that all the time. But I'm taking it just one step further. We're going to change those misses and make them our missiles to catapult us to where God has destined us to be.
Sounds like an awesome event coming up. What are the dates, and is there a registration? How can people learn more?
So the dates are November 5th and 6th. Friday and Saturday. It's going to be Friday evening, Saturday morning. That's how we're going to do that. It will be a panel on both days. But registration will be open on September 1st.
Okay.
And there's a discount if you put in DNA.
Okay. You get a discount for DNA opening September 1st. That sounds great. I want to double back, because there are women butterfly who don't feel that they can fly, right? From a human resources standpoint, there are still about 60% of women who are afraid to apply for certain types of jobs because they don't think that they will be considered. What do you say to the woman who is not yet aware that she can fly, that she can speak her voice? How do you get to that place where you're courageous and strong enough and confident enough to stand in your truth and speak the knowledge that you've learned? How do you get there?
So the first step is looking in the mirror and actually being able to tell yourself, I love you. Because I found that a lot of women and men, but a lot of women, men are more confident, I think, just naturally. But women, we are so busy trying to please others that we never, and that's part of the book too. I want to do this. I think I can do this. I seen somebody else do this, but that was them. And then we listen to what everybody else, all the noise around us. It's just noise. It's just noise. We hear what people say. I remember people telling me as a full-figured woman, you can't wear that outfit. It's just something that simple. No, I can't wear it in a size 4, but I can wear it in a 24. And I know that's like faux pas. Women don't tell their size. I don't care. You see me, I'm big. Just who I am. But I know what I can. I know what fits my body. You have to know where you fit. So where is your size? What is it that you have inside of you that is screaming out? Like, if you wake Marcus and I up at like 4 a.m., we can harmonize in like 5 seconds because we've been doing it before we knew we were doing it. So that's something, you may have something like that in you that you can do. You may be able to teach somebody else how to stay on top of that note. You may have something else that will just make your life sing. I love music, so I use that analogy. So excuse me for that. But that, it may be sports. I know women. My daughter was a sports person. Like, this child literally was able to ice skate without nobody teaching her. So, you may have something in you that's just so unique that other people need to learn from. And so that's where I come in. I have that in me where I just like to encourage other people. So that's what you have to tune into. I think what happens is we don't tap into what God gave us. God gave everybody something in their DNA that makes them uniquely them. He knows the amount of hairs are on your head. So why wouldn't he have a plan for you to be successful?
Good. I love it. I love it. And so before we go, and I'm so glad that you decided to come and to share, I want you to talk to women, look in the camera and talk to them and tell them or share with them, how do they find their purpose? Seems like you're on your journey of purpose, encouraging and representing. How would you encourage other people to get on their journey about finding what their purpose is?
Hi, my sister. How you doing? Yeah, I'm talking to you. See, there was a time in my life where I didn't believe who I was. I couldn't see my light. I literally dimmed them to make other people comfortable. Does that sound familiar to you? Did you decide one day that if you just made everybody else comfortable, that life will be just easier for you? Well, let me tell you something. If you want to go to that next level, you can't. You got to stop doing easy. You have literally achieved the being okay. Your potential's up here. Your okay is here. You have all this room to develop and grow. I need you to develop and grow. I need you to take that jump and say one word: yes. Say yes to you, not to your family, not to your job, not to your church, not to the negative noise that you hear outside of you, but to listen to what God has given and downloaded in you. Because once you let go of those legs, those limiting excuses for growth, yeah, those are your legs. Just let them go. And then you need to transfer your mind by renewing your mind by hearing by the word of God, hearing God's word for your life. And stop thinking about like the caterpillar and crawling and struggling. Because now you will develop your wings. You will win, influencing necessary growth in others. You will see that and you will know that success is in your DNA. So today is your day to say yes.
Well, thank you, Chocolate Beautiful Butterfly. Thank you for sharing that. I hope that there are many women and men that hear this and that are inspired to go and be all that they have been called to be. So I want to thank you for joining me this afternoon, or depending on where people are watching around the world. And we'll certainly have you back, and we wish you well in the Queen's Ask event on November 5th and 6th. You can follow Andrea on all of her pages everywhere as Chocolate Butterfly and learn about her events. And much success to you for all of the work that you're doing. And thank you so much for joining us today.
And I thank you, Marcus, for inviting me and allowing BU Butterfly to come on here. You can connect me, as Marcus said, as the Chocolate Butterfly on all platforms. And also, you can go to www.b as in boy, E as in every, U as in unique, butterfly, bubutterfly.com/DNA and download the e-workbook. The e-workbook will help you be you butterfly. And with that, I say, have a good day.
Thank you so much. Well, what a awesome interview that was. And I hope that you see her passion. I certainly did. Did you feel that through the camera? Her passion for what she is doing. I think ambassadorship is so important. I think because people need to know that there is someone else out there in the world like them, and that what someone has accomplished, that you can accomplish too. You can find your purpose where it intersects your passion, and you can live passionately on purpose. What an awesome time today. I hope that you will click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends or connections, or YouTube event followers, 5 of your more important ones that you interact with all the time, to share this content. And if you like this content that's emanating from LinkedIn, shoot me an inbox on LinkedIn, Marcus R. Holmes, and I'll be happy to respond to you there. For those of you that are in Nigeria or in the United Consultancy Group, I will see you tomorrow. I'm excited for the second summit that will be happening tomorrow there. I won't be there, but I'll be there. I'll be there via Zoom, and I have the privilege to talk about HR architects and builders, the answer to the call, rather, of people managers. So I'm excited to be speaking there, and so I'm looking forward to my brothers and sisters over there in the motherland and all of the chapters that are connected to that. I hope to see you there tomorrow morning, 7 my time, I believe. I think it's 12 or noon your time. For those that are in Nigeria or wherever you are around the world, you'll have to figure out that time slot. I'm not that great with all the time zones, but I hope to see you there. And certainly join us in the Love and Stuff community with our newest offering, which is Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix. You don't want to miss these 2 sports heads. So if you love sports, that's the place to be. And you can check them out in their own group from the Love and Stuff community. I'm Marcus Holmes. Have a grateful weekend, and we will see you next Friday on Passion Fridays as we pick back up our discussions on public service. Public service is a great place to be, and we want to show you more examples of that in the hopes that you may consider it as a great place to work and an employer of choice. Until then, we will see you on these Facebook and LinkedIn streets. Take care and be good to yourselves and others.